The element of surprise allowed the Corps commander to establish a secure foothold on Barathrum. Armed forces were disorganized at first, and the planetary terrain allowed the Corps commander to effectively adopt an isolate and destroy strategy, retaking the planet one crustal at a time.
Alright, I know what you're thinking. Was that the same shirt? Yes. Yes, it is. We decided to crank out one more recording session today. We have to capture a Moho mine and destroy the arm. So I'm kind of wondering... Okay. I'm kind of wondering if that means there's like a specific, like if there's only one Moho, or if... Okay, we'll have to be careful. We'll have to be careful. That's the main takeaway here. Even though what's amusing is, we already have Moho mines, right? So like, I don't know why we need to capture an arm one specifically, because I feel like, you know... Now this is a much smaller map, so that's very interesting. Oh, hey zippers. Okay, let's be ready for them. Are they gonna come down, I wonder? But yeah, this is a much smaller map than the previous. Okay, they are indeed on their way down. Can we line up a D-gun shot? Oh my gosh. Okay, fine. Dumb zippers. Dumb zippers! You fools! Do you think you can best the crafty Cord Commander? I don't think you can. I don't think you have it in you. I might miss my T-gun shots, but you can't best me. See if we can... We'll just kill this one with plain old laser pulses or whatever you want to say, because energy is still in tight demand. We are unfortunately down to our commander already. The pyro, but look how narrow the map is. We can't even get away from our explored area. So compared to the last map, what's funny is like I feel like we have a lot more resources really tightly here, which is kind of cool. We got multiple geothermal, which is nice. But like, geez, is it small compared to the previous one. I'm going to build a radar, and I bet we're going to get coverage over pretty substantial area just from the radar. Let's go ahead, we'll plop it down right there. Then we'll do our traditional approach here. There's another metal spot right there. Do our traditional approach of building a vehicle plant, getting slashers out, so we're going to deal with that peeper. Okay, looks like we might have the zippers on a return trajectory, so to speak. So we should prepare ourselves. Oh, the classic blunder. De-gunning our own factory. What a fool I am. Oh well. Let's reclaim the little bit of wreckage the zippers left behind, and then we will... correct our misdeeds. No one saw that. No one's watching this. It's okay. But at least the zippers are seemingly dealt with. How much radar coverage do we have? Pretty, yeah, like probably like over a third-ish, I'd say, of the map from one tower. Not even particularly well placed. So, tiny little map we're on here. It is interesting. I feel like I've been thinking a little bit about the nature of like the core consciousness, because like we talked about, you know, central consciousness is like, oh, like is it a emergent personality of mini minds, or is it merely the collection of mini minds in one place, sort of collectively functioning as the administrative state of, you know, the core empire? And that's, I don't know, it's an interesting question. I don't know if we can have a definitive answer one way or the other, but like in the briefing it talks about like, okay, we've got, you know, we're assigning 40,000 more mines, so that would imply to me like, okay, that probably means, you know, that they're still maintaining individuality, which is a little less grimdark. but maybe slightly less cool as well. The idea of like the emergent personality or something like that. So I guess, are the Arm like just, are they just humanists? Are they like following a philosophy? Are they religious? Because if you think about it, like, I understand, and I guess core, you'd think, that's actually an interesting question. So if you're the government and you're forcing, you have to ask why is this war being fought? So it's, presumably there's, basically the core was the government, I guess, unless like, you know, there was a precursor government, and then the core is what sort of took its place as sort of the central administrative state. And the Arm is the breakaway state. But like, so you mandate, so we come up with this consciousness transfer technology, so you can become, you know, a machine, basically. Your brain is preserved inside of the computer. And you're the government, so for some reason now you've decided we're going to mandate everyone does this. Which is interesting. Because it's like, okay, so I don't know fully. I guess you can look at it a few different ways. You could look at it as the government wants to force people to do it, because it's like, did the core, you know, again, did they decide that everyone has to do this? Because that's kind of what you'd think would be implied. Like, why else would you rebel? Like, okay, we rebel because we don't want to turn into machines. But could it be that the Arm is actually kind of the extremists? And, like, because, like, to some extent, like, if you come up with this technology and it's like, hey, guys, we can live forever as a computer, everyone should do this, and like a group of people were like, nah, like rather not. Like, to some extent, why does the government care? They'd be like, well, whatever, those people will die. Like, that's fine. So like, you could argue, what incentive does the government have to force people to do that thing? I mean, I could see, definitely there are governments that are, like, asinine enough that they would try and force everyone to do it anyway, just because that's their thing, but it is weird to fight a war over it, just for that purpose. But could it be that the Arm, like, you could go a sinister route and be like, well, maybe the core wants you all to become computers because then they'll have ultimate control. Because the government can, like, basically know what you're thinking, presumably, at that point. So, like, maybe that could be the sinister reason. But maybe the Arm's actually the zealots, and maybe it wasn't that, like, oh, everyone has to be a computer. Maybe it was, like, a personal choice. Like, no, of course we're not going to force anyone to become a computer. But then it's, like, the Arm maybe could have been like, oh, we, you know, we do not believe it is right to give up your humanity, maybe. And so then it's actually the Arm kind of being the extremists and wanting to, like, purge the core. That could be an interesting take. If someone were to do, like, sort of a modern take on this thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you'd do it. Because you could definitely play it both ways. You could play it as, like, the evil government wants you to become a computer. And then they're gonna, you know, run everything. They'll have access to all your thoughts. You know, you'll have... It's like, oh, we'll have a perfectly stable society with no lies or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but that's also really creepy. And who's to say you're not going to, like, somehow influence everybody through, you know, an even easier apparatus by literally, you could just, like, maybe program people to follow your directives. So I guess I do see it both ways the more I speculate on it. But, like, that would be an interesting take. The idea that actually the Arm is the radicals. And, of course, this all has been happening supposedly for 4,000 years, is how long the war has happened in Total Annihilation, according to the opening cutscene. So, arguably, it's entirely within the realm of possibility that no one knows exactly how it went down. You would expect the core to know, because in theory, you would think that the core would be the same people. So I guess that's a fair point, is that if the core literally are supposed to be the same minds that have been alive this whole time, But if you think about it, in the ARM campaign, then you destroy, I think, central consciousness, right? So like, maybe even if it didn't start out as zealotry, it's definitely become zealotry at some point. So I don't know. I don't know. These are all interesting conversations that are not super relevant to the actual proceedings of the game, but they're definitely points of curiosity. So we'll go ahead and we'll advance across the whole front with the slasher force. Looks like we've got freedom fighters. I think the slashers should be able to handle them. We got Kiwis. Commander, you might be of assistance. Alright, well we've advanced in line and found a big lava trench. So it might be necessary to build some air units. Okay, we got some, I think some merles up ahead from the looks of things. Looks like we've captured all the metal deposits that are available in our immediate area. We'll send this construction unit up to reclaim some wreckage. Trying to think of what we could use. We want to be careful in our conquest here. To not accidentally kill the Moho mine, unfortunately. So we need something with, we want to make sure we're doing a precision application of violence. So I'm wondering if even like an AK, well, definitely AKs are not going to be good for those, but I'm trying to think of what the best option would be for breaching the arms defenses. So we can build a radar jammer, a pyro, and an advanced construction bot. Well, that is not ideal. I think airplanes are going to be a good approach, though, for sure. There's another metal deposit up there. Maybe we will sneak up and try and hit that. It's consuming resources, just this. Yeah, now we're done. I guess we're good. So you go up and throw down an advanced radar, I guess. And Commander, you can build a pathfinding. Build pathfinding. Build better pathfinding. Briefly raise the game speed here until we can get some more stuff finished. Speed through the whole stalling process. That is sort of the funny part about single player, just being able to adjust game speed on a whim. Let's get a couple finks and then we can see what we're up against. Just because I'm guessing more fighters might come and build a few missile towers. And then we're going to obviously have radar coverage in a second, but I want to build the finks to literally see, not just have radar. Especially since I'm guessing from how few dots that is, there's, yeah, definitely a radar jammer right there. So let's go ahead and send this Fink up. We need to think about what we are going to do. So that's a lot of Moho mines. I'm guessing we only have to capture one. I'm hopeful we only have to capture one. I mean, we'll try and avoid killing any of them, I guess, for the moment. A few shadows, though, could be enough to crack that. That's not a tremendous amount of defenses, actually. Let's get some shadows and some Finks and some more shadows. That's my glorious plan. Commander, did I give you a guard order? No, you're just assisting, so let's go ahead and give you a guard order. You can, I guess, reclaim the dead units. Be a good job for you. Then the same. And also you can repair those guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this guy an order to attack this defender. Okay. So there's one down. And somewhere right around here. So right there is where there's another defender. So let's go ahead and see if we can snipe that one out. I was frustrated, so I'm also working on the Let's Play for Supreme Commander 1, and I kept trying to target ground with bombers in Subcom 1, and it wouldn't let me do it. It made me target actual units or radar contacts, which is very irritating, because I feel like part of the whole appeal of bombers is the fact that you don't have to target, you know, you can just target the ground. That's so helpful, you know, when you can do that. Okay, we slightly missed. Okay. Oh, well, that was fun. Alright. Try there. So we got one. You there. You can help too. What about the advanced K-bot? Come back and you also will assist. There's really not that many defenses on this island. Call it an island, but obviously it's just like a lava formation. I wish we could build... Well, actually, I mean, I wish we could build cans, because obviously we know we can build cans. I'm trying to think of what else we could build that would be vaguely interesting. Maybe just a few pyros. Just for the fun of it. If we take out that defender, then we'll be down to one. Alrighty, well there's our, there's the defenders gone. Now just for the LLTs. Well, I think in terms of anti-air and LLTs, I think we're good. So let's just send in the pyros, because they're good at they won't be able to engage until they get in close. Let's make sure that the top is clear. Yeah, pyros I think will be a decent unit to get in close and engage the bulldogs without risk of overkilling, hopefully. And there's a good chance they'll fail because they're not amazing units, but that's alright. Okay, so there's nothing over there. Control C. Commander, you go ahead and start walking up here. Thankfully the map is tiny, so you'll get here soon, I think. Alright, so let's kill the Fido, please. So we've killed one Bulldog and one Fido so far with our glorious Pyros. They're just so good at their jobs. Alright, Control Z. Let's get the Finks kind of overhead to make sure. See if we can kill. Actually, let's try and kill the Bulldog. Never mind, it's not that great. Alright. Just a core. Oh, there's a Fido left over there. Well, hopefully we don't need that Moho-mine. There we go. We had the victory noise. So I don't know if they want us to eliminate all the other arm stuff. Capture this other Moho-mine just for good measure. I think that's it, though. I think we've successfully scoured the map already of all enemy contacts, so let's see what happens. Please end the game. I wish there was a progress bar when you were capturing. It's interesting. Okay, so there we go. I heard the victory noise. There we go. Alright, cool. We did it. So, we successfully captured the enemy's resource facilities. And put an end to that Arm outpost. And next up, we're going to be capturing the gate. So thank you for tuning into this episode of Total Annihilation, and again, I hope you stay with us in the future, and I hope you enjoyed.